Okay. Nick, you in trouble.
Caller, you're on Game Talk.
Select audio playback. Headset. Can I get ultra quality? Where's full screen? We've detected a microphone. In order to play Midnight Evil in narrate mode, you must... Don't show me again. Maybe I should have did that. Something what's going on, CORYKENSHIN here. Welcome to Midnight Evil. We better be in a whole lot of mess, alright? Now this game, this horror game, detects our microphone. Basically, this is gonna be Hooked on Phonics, the video. We're gonna be reading a book. Literally, this video is about to be me reading to you guys. So, get ready. Matter of fact, I'm gonna grab some. Hold up. You know what? All this reading, I might as well grab the Clark Kents. Ooh, it's kind of foggy. They were out in the car. But yeah, back to what I was saying. We're gonna be reading a book, but there's gonna be stuff happening around the room, so we'll have to put the book down. I don't know, dude. Let's just do this. Also, heard y'all want some jump force. 10K likes in an hour, double upload. Am I on my junk today? Oh, turn that up. As the clock approached midnight, I gotta be good on my reading today, guys. William Grinkle was fast asleep. Is that who I am? What the freak kind of last name is Grinkle? No offense if your last name is Grinkle. Tonight was different, though. What is that? That's a FNAF. He woke up to a strange sound coming from the attic. Oh! Who put that picture on the wall? All the pictures you could have put on the wall. Do I gotta walk up the stairs? Oh. As he climbed the stairs, he felt something. What'd he feel? Somebody touch his butt? Like what? He had never seen this chest before. What kind of chest we talk? Oh my god. Guys, I ate some Skittles before I recorded this. Like I'm on my sugar height. Just an innocent book. Alright. Tonight, his life would change forever. Alright. From reading a book, Nathan Sanders presents Midnight Evil.
Let me speak!
Alright. Ooh. 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 So, first of all, we gotta look at this room. Okay, we got Dr. Schwarzenegger. Front to the present. Star Wars, Toastbusters. So basically, Saws. Basically, there's a bunch of, references to movies and things. Nighttime. Everything is all good. Let's do this. Preface. Long before the first humans stood upright and took their place in the world, there was a beautiful land that was ruled by what many would come to call the Fae. Look at that, it highlights. It knows. It knows what I've read. These ancient beings were worshipped by mankind, but they were also feared. Oh! You think you slick, whoever that is, but I heard you. All right, it's back to reading. Humans were right to... Hold on. When I read, I can't listen. Okay. Okay. Just calm down, Corey. You're freaking yourself out. Everything's fine. Humans were right to be afraid, for there were many different creatures that lived in the darkness, watching us, waiting. Most were harmless enough, amusing themselves by causing mischief and playing pranks on humans that crossed their path. However, some had more sinister intentions. Hold on. Everything is cool, Corey. The Earthling, for example, have developed a liking for the taste of human children. These monsters are small, unnaturally fast, and impossible to kill. So they're small, fast, and you can't kill them? Were they freaking roaches? It was an unlikely tragedy for my people that we decided to build our village right here in the middle of the Earthlings' territory. We have lost so many of our children over the past year. There aren't enough tears in this world to weep for their loss. Dude, I'm having some trouble here. I'm having some trouble here. My reading skills are called into question when I feel threatened. Thankfully, though, my grandmother taught me well in the ways of my druid ancestors. I may not be able to kill the little beasts, but I was able to work out a spell that binds them to this book. I can only hide it and pray that it never falls into the hands of a child. Oh boy. Know that I'm truly sorry for the demons that have now been passed on to you. Opening the book will have an... Wait, whoa. Why didn't I highlight? If you are reading this, know that I'm truly sorry for the demons that have now been passed on to you. Opening the book will have awakened them, and I'm sure they will be ravenously hungry. So basically, we're screwed. Okay. Once the book is open, you must read it out loud from beginning to end in order to return them to their magical prison. Be watchful. They only attack if you don't see them coming. Most importantly, once you finish this book, keep it hidden so that no one ever opens it again. Alright.
WIGS-FM 98.7 Game Talk.
Hello, darkness.
My old friend.
My name is Nick Gloom. It's just me tonight. As you guys know, we answer game questions and talk tips and tricks.
Right.
Well, Nate usually does. I don't really play most of those games. Anyway,
Why not?
let's get to the phones. First caller, you're on the air.
Hi, Nick. I'm wondering, how do I beat the final boss in Terminator Destruction?
How would I know that?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm stuck here working for crap money. I still can't afford to buy new Atari games.
Atari. Dude, quit your job. Stop
Would you
complaining.
like me to page Nate?
I don't
Here's
know.
the thing. Like I said, I'm working here. I don't usually come on the radio. So, I don't have as much of a bedside manner as Nate does.
You're not
But it's
helpful in
totally
any way.
fine. I bought a new OBasic book, which is the programming language for Atari, since I can't afford to buy my own Atari games, and I'm working on my own homebrew game. The pending title is Evil Midnight, where I'm not sure what you're going to have to do yet, but I think it's going to be a horror game, and it's going to be at nighttime, and it's going to be evil. Basically, you would do something all night, and then you would win. It's kind of like working here. I try to keep my head down all night, but Janet asked me to go on the air. And I'm always getting asked to do stuff.
And you're kind of rude.
The more stuff I get asked to do, the more I get anxious and panic. It's a vicious cycle.
Is this some kind of life lesson? I just
Right.
want to play Terminator.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing. Why did it just what? Why did it turn off? So I guess we're on page 5, chapter 1. Little Maggie O'Brien was the first. The children had been playing in Hogan's Forest when they all heard a noise. Sensing no danger because there were so many of them, 12 children in all decided to investigate the source of the strange sound. As they... Hello! Ooh, I don't like this game. I'm trying to read y'all a bedtime story and they just playing with me. As they all searched high and low, they soon realized that Maggie was missing. What a freak. What happened to Maggie? Frantically, they began searching for their friend. She was a small girl who loved to play hide and seek. Her big brother... What the freak was that? You hear? Bro, I got something on my lip. Y'all ain't even tell me. He walked away. He seems to get triggered when I start reading. Like, he's not gonna pull up on me when I'm not reading. Her big brother... Her big brother, Colin. I know you're here. Her big brother... What's happening? Bro, what is happening? Chill, my guy. I got heart problems. Her big brother Colin insisted that she was probably hiding somewhere, safe and giggling to herself as she watched everyone search for her. The sun sank low in the sky and the forest grew dark. The children, frustrated and panicked, ran back to the village to alert their parents that little Maggie was nowhere to be found. That's when everyone lit torches and spread out through the woods calling her name. The little girl's mother sobbed desperately as we all inspected every corner of those woods in hopes of finding her. You know what I'm noticing? These sentences are really long. Her brother kept searching, tears streaming down his cheeks. Bro, and I'm just having a heart attack over here. Am I scared from reading this? I'm her big brother, he said, rubbing his eyes. I'm supposed to make sure nothing happens to her. It's not your fault, Colin, I assured him. We'll find her soon, and she'll be no worse for the wear. He nodded, forced a smile, and we all continued looking. The moment I heard him scream, I knew he had found her. Oh no, what happened? Or rather, what was left of her, which wasn't much. We were sure it was Maggie, because she had worn her favorite hair bow that day. Okay. Her father plucked the pink ribbon from the body and fell to his knees, wailing into the darkness. Bro, I don't even have to look down. Poor Colin tried to tell us then. He said that she had been covered in what he described as little green men. What the? They were fat and green, he stammered, with bright glowing eyes. They were biting off bits of skin and flesh. No one believed the lad. We all attributed the horrible... Ugh! Y'all just look like weeds. Just unhealthy shrubs. We all attributed the horrible ordeal to a hungry wild animal. Of course, what else could it possibly be? Scooping up what remained of little Maggie, the townsfolk set to work preparing for her funeral. Oh, you not slick, you freaking green tumbleweed. We had no idea the horrors that lay ahead. I thought to... Bro, don't do that little thing in my ear, dude. I thought to myself how strange her wounds looked. I couldn't help but think back to what Colin had said about the little green men. It made me think of the stories my grandmother used to tell me. She said that our druid ancestors spoke of tiny creatures that lived long ago in the swamps and marshes surrounding our lands. The Earthlings, she called them. There were 3 tribes, each being their own breed of evil. One tribe, I recall, she said, were green and fat. They would lure children away from safety and feast on their flesh. Oh, that's disgusting. We didn't live near any swamps. Surely the boys' mind was playing tricks on them. Besides, the Earthlings weren't real. They couldn't be. Let's go. Light work. This is what I do, guys. You know what I got on the ACT on the reading portion? Wait, there was a reading portion, right? I don't get a radio transmission? Is it the next night? Oh my gosh. Chapter 2. Maggie O'Brien's funeral was just what anyone would expect. Everyone did their best to comfort the grieving parents. Colin... Ah! Colin kept to himself. Everyone... Oh, you being aggressive. Everyone assumed it was because he blamed himself. After his... What the freak? After his sister had been laid to rest, I came to ask... Oh, shoot, dude. I'm trying to keep my composure. After his sister had been laid to rest, I came to him to ask him how he was doing. He looked up at me, eyes red from either crying, lack of sleep, or a combination of the two, and said, I really saw them, the little green monsters. All right. That was a good paragraph we just knocked out. There we go. I'm telling you, these freaking run-on sentences, brother. My heart ached as I put my arms around the boy. I kept telling myself that seeing his little sister in pieces couldn't have been easy for him. He was just in shock. The stories of the Earthlings were only told to scare children into doing what they were told, and that was all. The first thing my grandmother told me about the Earthlings was that there were 3 tribes. The green ones had round bellies and piercing blue eyes. Like the one that keeps bro, he keeps showing his freaking ugly green. What are them things called? Not Cabbage Patch. Furby. Yes, the little green freaking Furby. She said they could be heard if you walk deep in the swamp at night. They would laugh and sing as they danced around their tiny campfires, which would appear only as tiny flickering lights through the trees. Bro, I jumped and looked to the left. Calm that hand down. They were the least lethal of the 3 tribes, but every bit as evil. The least lethal? My gosh. The red ones were more temperamental and even faster than their green cousins. They didn't sing or dance around campfires, and their celebrations were a bit more gruesome. Yes, they counted that. Yes, yes! Alright, okay. They prefer to eat children from the inside out. Oh shoot, okay, hold up, get that right. It was even thought by some that they were only red because they were stained by the blood of their victims. Ooh, get out of here. Get out of here! Ugly. Okay, fiery red bristle-like hair sprouted from the tops of their heads, and their glowing yellow eyes seemed cold and calculating. That was a good one. Come on, game. Yes, give that to me. The pale Earthlings were another class altogether. They had white skin and wild, untamed blue hair that flowed out in every direction. The most unsettling thing about them was that they had no eyes at all, yet they somehow were the most keen and efficient killers of the three. Get out of here. Grandmother said that their long, wiry hair could somehow sense the presence and locations of children. There were some things that all three tribes had in common. Earthlings preferred to eat after midnight and would only attack if the child didn't make direct eye contact with them. I reassured myself that the O'Brien girl being attacked barely after sunset meant that she had to have been the victim of a wild animal attack. Freak out of here, ugly. A few of the men in the village came together to hunt down the beast that killed the girl. They came. Oh my gosh. I got an achievement, probably because I just screamed like a. Probably because I just screamed like a deer freaking caught in a bear trap. They came back 2 days later carrying the carcass of a large wolf. The whole village breathed a sigh of relief and a big celebration was held. What the freak was that? The only one besides myself that remained anxious was Colin. We gotta read this fast. Looking at his face that night, I knew that he believed that creatures that killed Maggie were still out there waiting. He was right. He was right. He was right. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, he was right.
WIGSFM 98.7.
Hold up.
Game Talk.
Hello, darkness.
My old friend.
Welcome to the top of the hour.
You gotta do it every time.
Again, I'm your host, Nick Gloom, filling in for Nate tonight.
Okay.
That was an interesting hour, I must say.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know, Janet. I feel like these kids don't like me.
We really don't.
Hey, Janet, do you like me?
She probably doesn't.
And she's walking away, folks.
There we go. You
anyway,
deserve it.
caller, you're on the air.
Hey, Nick. Just calling in, wanted to say that you suck.
I just had a feeling that was coming.
You deserve
like I'm not
it.
as approachable as Nate is.
Because the dude called in for game tips and you started talking about
forgot
yourself.
There's a sponsor slot I was supposed to fill last hour. This one goes out to all you greasy, pizza-faced listeners.
Yeah, that's me.
Are you tired of popping pimples?
Ew, gross.
Do some zits appear over and over and you have to keep popping them?
Gross.
Kind of like that popular video game, Mole Whacker?
Gross.
From the creators of Simple Pimple comes the revolutionary cream, Pimple Buster. The only one scientifically formulated pimple-destroying cream.
That wasn't no Pimple Buster
Call
cream.
155.
That was something else.
PIMPLES. But hurry, before supplies run out. That's 155 PIMPLES.
PIMP.
You know, Janet,
I don't know what
I
you
think
heard
even
about
Midnight could
me.
use some Mole Whacker inspiration. Something to keep the player on their toes. Or at least that last prank caller could drink some of that Pimple Buster. I don't know what it is.
Keep the player on their toes. That was a weird thing to say. Why would he say that? Oh gosh. Look at this text, man. Gosh. Well, why am I scared? I haven't even started reading it. The next day, Maggie's mother visited her daughter's grave, discovering something that was more than a little strange. The earth on the grave was disturbed as if something had crawled its way out. What? That is weird. I couldn't help but remember what grandmother had said about the red Earthlings. They would burrow inside their victims and eat their way out. Could it be? Bro, they're attacking in groups now! Could it be that we brought a whole tribe of them right into the village without even knowing it? The answer would come soon enough. Jacob McLaren was found torn to shreds in his bed the following morning. Obviously, a wild animal hadn't attacked him inside his own house. Another... Why are they getting so close now? Another devastated family and another funeral this soon after Maggie didn't sit well with anyone. The atmosphere became even more tense and uncomfortable. I insisted on inspecting Jacob's remains myself, just to reassure myself that there was nothing hiding inside. Colin approached me afterwards, asking what I was looking for. I told him it was nothing, but he knew better. You believe me about the monsters, don't you? His young face was determined as he spoke. You're the only one that doesn't look at me like I'm crazy. I swallowed hard, started to deny it. 1, 2, 3. Alright. But the words caught in my throat as much as I tried. I couldn't lie. Listen, I put my hands on his shoulders. I don't think... Bro, y'all wild. Y'all wild for that barrage of attacks! I don't think you're crazy, but we need to be sure of what we're dealing with before we spark a full-blown panic. Tell me exactly what happened. Where is it? Colin took a deep breath, working up his nerve. It was so dark, but I had a good torch. I called her name over and over. She didn't answer. Then I heard something. It sounded like chewing. I took a few more steps and saw her laying there. All over her face, all over her were these fat little green monsters. They had mouthfuls of pointy teeth that looked like needles in massive clawed hands. Just then, a twig snapped under my foot and they all stopped what they were doing and looked right at me. That's when I screamed and they scattered. Whoa. They were gone before any of the grown-ups got to me. His eyes filled with tears at the memory. Please tell me what they are. He was no more than 11 or 12, having just lost his sister and now his friend. No one had believed him when he tried to tell us before. It couldn't have been easy, but he opened up to me. Freak out of here with the drops! Who's drop? I felt it only right that I tell him what I knew. We sat together by the bonfire late into the night, and I told him all the old stories. Unfortunately, the one thing that my grandmother hadn't mentioned was how to get rid of them. Looking into the flames, I got an idea. I knew that most unholy creatures were repelled by fire. You can't stop me! Well, Colin folded his arms. We will just have to test what happens to an Earthling when it's on fire. Let's go! Can't stop me! Bro, we about to beat this whole game. Know this. Oh, shoot. Colin wanted to tell his friends about the Earthlings, but I begged him to keep it a secret. If anyone... Whoa! Whoa! Bro, it's one more. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh, they're getting crazy. If anyone knew that my grandmother had passed down her druidic teachings, it would only take one person to scream witch and I would be as good as dead. He agreed and kept my secret. I mixed a potion that would catch fire when touched by the tiniest flame. Surely this would send it screaming to the underworld. He sat quietly in his bed and waited, knowing he mustn't look them in the eye. He must let it attack, for this would be the only way to get close to it. Just after the stroke of midnight, he began to hear them chuckling and shuffling around in the dark. Clutching the potion bottle, hands trembling, he lowered his gaze and braced himself. Sure enough, one of them leapt from his bookshelf and sank its teeth into the flesh of his arm. Whoa. 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 Alright. Bing bang bong. He screamed and unstopped the bottle, emptying the contents over the green Earthling. Okay, we're good. It tore a tiny round chunk from his arm and gulped it down just as Colin shoved a candle right into its face. It lit up like a torch and made a horrific high-pitched scream as it ran around the room trying to put itself out. The curtains caught fire as 4 more Earthlings sprung out from their hiding places. Colin ran outside screaming and cradling his blood-soaked arm. Nope, not gonna get me. His parents soon joined him outside in a panic trying to figure out what had happened. Just then, a tiny fireball came racing through the driveway and zigzagged toward the woods. I grabbed an empty glass jar from my cupboard and ran after it. The jar made a thunk sound as it landed over the flaming Earthling, and the fire quickly went out. To my horror, the thing wasn't dead. It didn't even look like it was dying. Though blackened from being set ablaze, it was just as spunky as ever. Alright, they're attacking clusters. I quickly scooped up the jar and screwed the lid back on. As I made my way back, some of the villagers were trying to put out the fire inside the house and the others were tending to Colin's arm, telling him that it must have been a rat. I've never seen a rat quite like this, I shouted and held the jar up. Freak! I messed up. They all looked in my direction, their jaws dropped open and Colin's face lit up for the first time since he'd lost his sister. He knew everyone finally saw that he had been telling the truth all along and they all felt terribly ashamed for not believing him in the first place. Unfortunately, the joy of this small victory was short-lived. For over the next 3 days, we tried every method we could think of to kill the little wretch, but no matter what horrific thing we did, it wouldn't die. Beast mode!
IGSFM 98.7 Game Talk.
This is what I do.
Hello, darkness.
My old friend.
I'm your host, Nick Gloom, in for Nate tonight, as we dive deep into Game Talk. Sorry about those technical issues we experienced last
Don't worry
hour.
about it. Don't worry about it.
I think Janet might have
You said-
fallen asleep. For those of you that missed it, we were having an interesting discussion about game difficulty and learning curves.
Yeah.
You know, Nate likes Dragons and Dungeons, but apparently I'm dumb for thinking it's too difficult. Apparently, kids can play it. So what do I know?
Nothing.
Kind of
honestly.
like my work in progress, Evil Midnight, which, as I mentioned earlier, if you weren't around, is going to be more of a horror game.
You said that already, Nick Gloom.
I'm not really sure, but I would imagine in a game like that, confusing the player could be an evil tactic.
Yeah.
Something like grooming them up to expect one thing and then yank the rug out, so to speak.
Bro, you about to make
Anyway,
me speak.
I'm rambling. Hello, caller. You're on
Thank
Game
you.
Talk. Must have lost him. Hello, caller. You're on Game Talk.
Ooh.
Very funny, guys.
Nick, you in trouble.
Caller, you're on Game Talk.
What the? Oh, Nick is in trouble. Nick is in trouble. Alright, you guys, we're gonna end it here for this episode. Let me know down in the comments if you like being read to, because that's all this game is. Of course, it's Shogun himself. No deaths for the first 4 chapters. I mean, come on. You ready for the next episode? Be sure to Sisters and Samurai, slice that like button, subscribe today to join the Samurai. And until next time, my brothers and sisters.
Cause my name is CORYXKENSHIN. Slice that like button.
You win. Perfect.